guys, Jason here from Jason's Works. Wanted to do a video. Had a friend of mine ask me to do a video about sharpening your punch, or your auto punch, or your classic punch. And had somebody else contact me through Etsy, I believe, and she was looking to learn how to do this as well. So it'll be a good vid. I do have an older video showing how I do it on a flat platen or hand lapping on flat block, but I'd like to show you how to keep that hollow ground, because these punches are extremely efficient with a 5-degree bevel or so, and also being hollow ground, so it actually cuts more than punches, so a lot less force. But I want to show you how to keep a sharp edge on it and how to maintain your punches, because they are tool steel, high in carbon. They're hardened, but they are prone to rusting. And my shop is, well, it rusts very easily in here. So I want to make sure and keep everything well oiled. So let's get started. So I think I'll show you the manual way first, as far as doing it without any type of belt grinders or anything like that. What I like to do, especially when I'm first starting, this kind of goes back to my knife sharpening as well. But when you first get started, you want to black out the cutting face here. That way you can kind of tell what you're doing, if you're on the correct angle, if you're rolling it a little bit too much. Shouldn't roll it at all, really. But that way you can really tell what you're doing. So we're going to use these are ground on about a 10-inch wheel, stone wheel, and so I found a old steel drum that's roughly 10 inches in diameter, and I'm going to use this 120 grit wet dry paper here, and let's see if I can get, I guess that'll work. We'll get some water on there. And what you want to do is actually build up a slurry. I like to use water rather than oil on my stones and on paper. One other trick is I like to find kind of the high point. So I'll mark this as the high point. So I want to keep that at the 12 o'clock position. So that's the high point on that bevel right there. You can see that. So I like to use the water on stones and paper, just because it's much cleaner. It's not as messy or nasty as oil, and all you're doing is clearing or cleaning the cutting edges of the paper or the stone. And that slurry, actually, as you build that slurry up, that'll help cut the steel as well. So you need to find where it fits nice and firm, nice and tight. There's no black line, no space on the punch. And you basically just want to not roll, but keep that punch flush to the paper and to the drum, or your form. I guess you could use it like maybe a spaghetti pot or something. Just ask your wife if you can borrow it. Maybe not tell her why, but just get permission. So here you can see the slurry getting built up, and I'm just doing it in one direction so I can keep control on it. And that is a new sharp edge. You can see that we've taken all of that ink off. Now the most important part, I probably should have shown it to you before. You want to look at this the edge right around here, right, so that you can see if there's any light reflecting off that cutting edge. And this one I don't see, but that's what you want to look for to see if there's a dull section of the punch. Let me just grab another one, see if I can see it. This one, yeah, so there's some light reflecting right there, I see. Probably can't see in the camera, but I can see in my eye right there. So that is a very small section that's dulled. I may have dropped it or something. I don't really see anything else. Yeah, just right there. But that's what you want to remove, is any of those sections of the punch that are reflecting light right on the cutting edge. And you always, always, always want to keep that, only grind on that face. Never ever grind down in here, because that'll just ruin the punch, because it has to slip just inside of your die. So, but that's what I like to do, to sharpen the punch by hand. Now you'll notice, if you do enough cutting, you'll notice a slight burr that's right on the edge, and you can just use some Scotch-Brite cloth and just hit the outside very light, knock that burr down, or you can use one of your buffing pads here and just knock that burr down, and that is a new sharp punch. So now what we'll do is show you how I like to do it on the belt grinder. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, but use some power tools, or a power tool. I'm going to go ahead and darken this up again. Now this is my preferred method, but you're also taking much more risk. There was somebody in one of my coin ring classes who said, and it stuck with me, and I can't remember who it was, but he said that power tools make power mistakes, and that is absolutely the truth. So you have to be very, very careful. This is a 10-inch wheel here, so it will conform to the same hollow ground that I have on the punch existing. But again, you got to be very, very careful. And I'm going to I marked the high point last time. I'm going to mark the low point on this one. So that shows the low part, because I want to be on that grinder with the bevel going this way, just to make it fit a little bit easier for me. So I painted the cutting edge, or the face of the punch. I'm going to place that up on the belt. I'm going to keep my elbows nice and tight. Old knife maker buddy told me that trick on beveling knife blades. And again, I want to feel where this punch really, get in a little bit closer maybe, flush. And I'll kind of keep that as a muscle memory. And when I turn it on, it'll be pretty loud, but when I turn it on, I'm going to take it up here, I'm going to go really light and just kind of get that feel back. And then once I feel it flush, I'm going to put pressure on it. Okay, so here we go. Oh, this is a 120 grit, sharp 120. I can't see with sunglasses. Always wear your safety glasses. Try it again. There, now I can see. That's a pretty good grind, but I can see just a hair of ink still right there. So I got to take it down a little bit more. There we go. So that is a beautiful grind. I can feel the burr up on the edge. So I'm going to take this guy and just clean that off real quick. Now that's a brand new punch. But again, you don't have to have a big belt grinder like this. You can do it by hand. Just takes a little bit longer. But there it is. Now, so once you have the new grind on your punch, what you want to do is protect it. Protect your punch from rusting. So I like to use either white lithium, which is good stuff, but I also found this WD-40 long-term corrosion inhibitor. So just something that will keep protect the tool steel from rusting is what you really need. I think I'll just go ahead and use the white lithium. So apply a liberal amount and rub that all over on your punch. If you do start to get a little bit of rust forming, you can just hit it with some steel wool or this guy here and just knock that off. I like to use oil and yeah, quadruple aught steel wool. I'll do that on other items made of tool steel as well to knock that off and then protect. So, but that is a brand new punch, ready to rock and roll. And it really, the more you take care of your tools, of course, the better they'll perform, the longer they'll last. I know individuals that have punched thousands of coins with these guys, and they take care of their tooling, so it can last for a very, very long time. So, all right, guys, I hope that helped. Let me know if you got any questions. You can contact me through my website, jasons.works. Also have tools, rings, different things on there that you can get. It's a great way to contact me. Let's see, what else? Yeah, let me know what you think about the sharpening of the punches. Hope that helps. Want to keep your tools up and running and going strong. So thanks again, and we'll talk at you later. Bye.